All right, players. So you're in the tavern. You've seen those damn dirty Steel Team 6 fuckers taking, presumably, your loot up to Hudson, standing in the tavern.
Can we review the evidence as to why we think it's our loot?
I think there's zero evidence other than
just a
they
bag,
have a bag
yeah.
of stuff that they're taking to Hudson.
There's a bag of shit, and we were like, it's our gems.
Well, no, but is it the same type of bag that we kept the gems in?
That's a good question. Not all bags
Perception
look
check?
alike.
True.
Luther, give me a perception check. You were the one who thought to glance at the bag before it was taken upstairs.
I say, as he walks past and we're
Pigeon,
both
look.
looking at it, I say, Pigeon, is that the same bag that we buried the gems in? I check
checked the
myself.
bag.
I get a 15.
The bag, it just sort of clips in and out next to him. You can't quite
Damn
get a
it.
look. It's leather like your bag, but is it the same bag? It just, with 5s and 3s, you'll never
If
figure
I just
it out.
walk upstairs and, kind of go look and do a closer inspection, would I be able to tell then? Or
Well, if you walk upstairs, and follow after him, all of his buddies are going to see you. They might call out to him. He might turn, you might be able to get a look at the bag, or you might just draw a bunch of unwanted attention. So the question is, how badly do you want to know if that's the same bag? Are you willing to get their attention and risk another confrontation?
Luther, I can't tell. Should I go check it out? Should I just snatch it?
No. We don't want you to end up in bed for the next 3 months.
Or dead?
What's the vision like between where his friends are sat and where the stairs are?
Pretty clear. Stairs are
Is
on the
there
side of the building.
is there tables in the way?
Yeah,
Is that a long distance?
30 feet. There's a table in the way. There's a couple tables in the way. It's probably not 30 feet. 30 feet is actually a really long distance. It's probably 15 feet, and there's one table in the way.
I'm wondering if there's a way to make a distraction, but I can't think of anything in time.
Okay. Up the stairs he goes. All right,
He
the two
goes.
of you can do whatever you want. You can go sit down, you can leave, you can try and find another way up the stairs, or there's multiple staircases that go upside. You go around to the other side of the tavern. You could just ignore this entire thing and not get sucked into more bait. What do you want
Let's
to do?
just get out of here, Luther.
Wait, well, what if I go up to and apologize to them and say no hard feelings, and whilst they're all looking at me, you follow them up the stairs?
He's already upstairs. I can go check it out, though.
Yeah, he'll be talking to Hudson for a while. Okay. I go to the bar, Neil, and buy a... No, I don't. I take my drink and I head over to their table.
Okay. You walk over to their table, and as you approach, they stop their conversation, and
I start
5
going.
heads turn your way. Where you go? Would you say?
I start going upstairs when I see the heads turn his way.
Okay. Yep. The 5 heads turn your way as you approach, and their table gets quiet. They look.
I hold my left hand up. I've got my beer in my right hand, and I say, "Listen, guys. There's been some bad blood between us. Water under the bridge. As far as I'm concerned, no hard feelings." And then I raise my drink in like a cheers. So I look over their shoulder briefly to see if Pigeon's out of view yet.
Pigeon is stepping up the stairs as you're doing this, and one of them will look at you, give a slight nod, and say, "What's your name, chappie?"
Let's join their gang.
My name's Luther.
Luther. Well, you ain't the smartest son of a bitch I've seen, but god damn it if you ain't handsome.
Man, I've got a good right hook. I say. I give him a wink.
Yeah, that you do. What do you do for work these days, Luther?
Mostly just hang around here drinking, really.
Sounds like a good form of employment.
While they need someone to do it, at least. Anyway,
You
I
ever
really
thought
thought
about
here to,
joining up with the real crew?
Please,
well,
Nick.
I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are a short guy. What happened to him?
No. We got people waiting in the wings, though. We could put you on the short list if anything should befall one of our dear comrades here. There are some trials, of course, before we let you in.
Yes. Well, I tell you what. Consider that, and if I ever get the chance to fuck the queen, then I'll come back to you and I'll take you up on your offer. But given that that's unlikely to happen, probably not.
Yeah, if anyone could find the bitch.
What do you mean?
She's missing.
She took off during the war. Just fucking vanished. Ran off with all the loot in all the world.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was getting in good with her as well.
Well, you take it easy and
no
watch
hard
out.
feelings.
No hard feelings.
I walk away. Do I think that this guy even recognized me as the person that he stole off?
Give me a charisma check.
You're good at that one.
That one I am good at, yeah.
Yeah, you don't recognize his voice or anything, but sometimes when you meet a person that you don't know, you have this like.
Sorry. I'm under the impression that I recognize him. Mm-hmm. I'm saying, do I get the feeling like he didn't recognize me?
No, so yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Is that sometimes when you talk to a person and you don't recognize them, you kind of do the, oh, hi, yeah, it's great to see you. And you try and do that. You don't get that feeling. You don't have that like front of overly enthusiastic or I don't really recognize you, but I'm playing at it. This person had, there was like a calculating look in his eye. And so you're pretty certain that this guy definitely recognized you. This must be one of the 4 survivors.
All right. Yeah, no, he is one of the survivors. I got from the way he talked, it kind of sounded like he was using generic words, like maybe he just thought I was a random guy. But whatever,
you definitely
go sit back down.
Yeah, you definitely get the impression.
Yeah. Well, Pigeon's out of sight now, so my deception has worked. I think to myself, I'm not really your friend, you fucking idiots. I'm gonna steal my gem back, you fucks.
All right, Pigeon, you go upstairs. You can see this one person. He's headed over towards Hudson. He goes down, but unlike the two of you, he just grabs a table from a chair from a nearby table and drags it up to hers, plops it down back forward and mounts the chair and leans over the table. Real not inconspicuous, real conspicuously. And
how does
leans
Hudson's
forward.
face look?
She's got
annoyed,
this book that she's reading, and she does lifts her eyes up to him, but doesn't change the angle of her head, and you can see her mouth move. But she's a soft-spoken lady. You're not really sure what she's saying. Ooh, absolutely.
While you're doing that check, I'm just trying to check, and we are definitely recording, are we?
Yes. Good check.
Just checking.
Good check.
Yep.
Good check.
You.
Great check. It's just a lip reading check, right?
Yeah. Killing it, Mr. Mooton. So you can see her say, "Excuse me," but this guy's back is to you, so you don't know what his response is. And she'll say, "Okay," followed by some words because you only get 70%. So I'm going to try and cut some words here.
Yeah.
Here or there. But she'll say "Okay," blah 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 blah. He'll speak for a little while. And then you'll see him sort of set something on the table, but he keeps his hand and arm covering it, which makes it almost impossible to see it. And he'll jabber at her for a little bit. You can kind of hear the intonation of his voice. Give me a perception check. See if we can get any.
26.
Yeah, he's got this cocky tone in his voice of "Hey,
seems like
how
a real
you doing?"
cunt.
No. And she'll glance down at the bag and, carefully set her bookmark in her book and fold it and set it down and look across the table at him and say, "Well, it's the same deal as before. It'll take many weeks, but we'll let you know."
That's our fucking gems.
And then he'll jabber at her and she'll say something, "No, thank you." And he'll lean back, forget that his back of his chair is in front of him and almost loses balance, grab the front of the chair and lean forward again and kind of like reach a hand out across the table towards Hudson's hands, which are like politely folded, and kind of rest his hand on top of hers.
Ooh.
And she will just very like politely take her hands, put the hand that's on the bottom will go on top of his, and then
I see what's
she'll
happening.
just peel it backwards until his hand like twists at a weird angle and his shoulder begins to twist and his body begins to twist until he's like semi horizontal. And you can now hear him going, ow, 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 ow. And then she will let him go. He'll say something and she'll say, well, have a nice day then. And then pick up her book and go right back to reading.
Nothing is handed off.
Well, you didn't see the handoff, but when he gets up, he definitely doesn't have the bag.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Am I able to get a perception check on the bag to see if I think it's the same bag? I think I at this point understand that it's probably the same thing.
Give me one more perception check because you missed the handoff because she's
27.
real sneaky like 27. That's a good perception check, but it does not beat her sleight of hand check. And so somewhere in the process of like twisting his wrist, she managed to
taken.
swipe the bag. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. I got enough from the lip reading check that I'm pretty sure, probably the gems. At the bare minimum, it's something else that's interesting. So I'll head downstairs. I see him getting up now.
Mm-hmm.
And go over to Luther.
Okay.
I couldn't tell if it was the bag, but he definitely gave her something, and she was saying it's going to be, a couple weeks, same as the last deal.
But they only just got the gems off us, right? So they must have been fencing something to her beforehand.
I shrug.
They got the gems a few months ago. We've been recovering.
True, I sometimes forget the passage of time.
Yeah. So what happened? What happened when you talked to him?
They didn't seem to care. I think they tried to offer me a job, I think. Said something about a waiting list.
We should do that, Luther. That's our way to get our shit back. We become their friends and then we cut them.
Go and work for them.
I
Take
shrug.
orders from them. Could take months.
We got time. That's how we do this thing. We work for them, do some of their jobs, get their money, find out where their cage is, and then we take it all. Or we could just let bygones be bygones and be their friends.
I shrug.
Wrong one. Let's
Who
not be
knows
their
how it'll turn
friends.
out?
Maybe you're right. Maybe
Let's
we
act
could
like
do
they're
that.
friends and then cut them.
Yeah. Got him. Thing is, though, they said something on our waiting list. There's only room for 6. What are we actually going to be doing? We'll just be getting them drinks and serving them food, probably.
I shrug.
We can just do our own thing until they need us. They're gonna absolutely be interested in my skills of opening locks. I'm probably the best one in the city.
Well, it's
Yeah,
as
you
you're
probably
having
are.
this conversation about what to do that you see the whole gang of 6 get up, toss a couple of coins on their table, and begin to head for the door.
Wave them over. Wave them over.
I sort of stand up and say, "Hey," and then I wave over to them.
Yeah, you'll catch their attention. One of them, the one who went to talk to Hudson, will motion to the others and walk over to you. The other 5 will stand near the door, interested, but keeping a distance. The door is maybe 30 feet from where you are. They're a pretty good distance from you. Definitely no way for them to overhear what's being said through the din of the tavern noise, the pouring of drinks, the slapping of feet, the laughing in the room. But the one person who's talking to Hudson strolls on over.
Hey there. My friend here wanted to extend the same feelings that I shared before.
we'd like to take you up
I kind of looked at Luther.
on your offer, and I wanted to inform you that I'm probably the best at locksmithing in the city, and we would like to become a part of Steel Team 6. And we're sorry for the hard time that we gave you.
Maybe we could call it Great Team 8?
Absolutely not. Steel Team 6 is a perfect moniker. It's an interesting thought you've got there, Pigeon. He says, looking at you, like pointedly saying your name and then looking at your eyes to see what your reaction is.
Kind of nod.
Thank you for not killing me. I am most appreciative. And I'd just like to help out. Could benefit both of us. We can stop, we can help you. We can join up.
This is an interesting development. Why don't you start by telling us where you got those gems?
Kind of like look to Luther. Give him
I
a
shrug.
foot kick under the table.
Well, it's a long story, but
Give me the cliff notes.
well, it was in a hidden underground location guarded by the Redcoats.
Liking the sound of this? Wait, guarded by the redcoats?
A nod.
There was traps and a formidable lock, the likes of which you've never seen before. Luckily, like Pigeon said, he's the best in the business. We got through
Ballsy
that lock.
motherfuckers.
We went down there, and well,
I learned from Mickey.
Kind of say.
a different
Not
time. There was gold and gems glimmering down there, all behind more sublime locks. We could only get our hands on a few things. We took what we could, those gems, and vowed to come back another time, but by the time we returned, they were moved, gone.
All right. Here's the deal. You find another one of these red coat caches or dead drops. You come get us. And if it is anything like you say it is, we're in business. And you can join the greatest up and coming enterprise the city's ever seen. One day, people will know the name Steel Team 6, and people will fear Steel Team 6, and we will be so rich, we'll get 6 concubines each. We'll be Steel Team 6 to the 6.
Damn, that's cool.
Steel Team 36.
No, 6 to 6, that's well cooler. I say, I nod at the guy.
Yeah.
A nod.
Okay. Until then, you need us to do anything for you?
He just reaches out a hand. I don't think so. My name. I didn't have a name prepared for this guy. They were just going to be a generic band, but now I have to give him a name. My name's Eraser.
Damn, that's so cool.
That's a pretty cool name.
I say in and out of character. Wow. I say as I shake his hand. I let him walk away, and I look back at Pigeon, more intimidated than I've ever been by these guys up until this point. And I say, that guy was pretty smooth, actually.
Kind of nod.
Maybe we should go work for them.
Yeah, but we'll make it like the long con. We'll work
Yeah.
with them until, it's Steel
Till we
Team
get
6 by
old?
6, and then we
And
kill
then-
them. And then we take it over.
Thing is, though, if we find another stash like that, what do we need them for?
Well, do you remember last time how we had to leave early and we couldn't get everything?
That's true.
They're the
That's
muscle.
true. They are the muscle, yeah, with their patented torch fighting techniques.
They also had weird fire bombs.
Yeah, they're well armed. They must have a benevolent benefactor. I wish
But
we
where
had
are
a
we going to find
benefactor.
another stash?
I don't know. Wait for somebody to show up dead on the doorstep again.
Did you sell the book?
Yeah, I sold the book to pay down some of the debt. That's another thing. We're gonna have to start finding out how to pay that out because the interest.
Crazy interest, yeah.
I didn't really know what I was signing up for, but I did some thinking about it the other day, I ran into that architect friend of mine, and I was talking to him about it. It's actually really, really bad if we don't pay this down as soon as possible.
All right, well, how about we... I kind of shrug. Do a house robbery.
Yeah. So passe though, isn't it?
Well, we have nothing else to go on, and no one's giving us jobs. We could follow one of the vendors at the market home. Find them, find where they live, watch them. That way we know it's someone good.
Wait for a busy day at the market.
Go in their house when they're there.
Well, it's better to wait till after the market's closed so you get the takings for the day. Or maybe we go the day after when they're at the market, when it's dead. And they've got the takings from the day before. Okay, we could do that. I'm gonna try to get some work for the pitman.
Yeah, but doesn't seem like they're giving it.
Talking about that, I'm gonna get us another drink. I go up to the bar, Neil, and can I see my friend who I sold the book to?
He's the bartender.
The barman. Today is Saturday, April 6th for the wiki editors. This is the day that Pigeon recovered. And roll me a D7, Nick, to see what day of the week barman is off. Monday is 1. 6 is a Saturday. Today is his day off. Unlucky. Wow.
Classic.
Classic. Who takes the Saturday off?
The owner, I guess.
That's true, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Too busy for him. Doesn't want to work it.
Do I see the who was it? The waitress that told me to speak to the bartender about selling the book.
Hudson.
It was Hudson, yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go up to Hudson.
Yep, she's up there. She's reading her book. There's a small fire going. It's still too early in the day to really get the fire raging and roaring. So she's just feeding it, small things from time to time just to keep the embers alive so it can be built up later as needed. As you approach, she does the same thing. Well, she'll look up from the book as you walk towards her table.
Yeah.
All the chairs are completely put away.
I pull the chair out slightly and take a seat.
Mr. Luther?
Hey there, Hudson. I really want to bring this to you because I feel, quite frankly, it's below you. But I did some work for one of your colleagues the other day, quite exacting and difficult work at serious risk to my own life. And I've yet to receive any reimbursement for that. I'm just wondering what the proper channels are for raising grievances.
I'm afraid I wouldn't know anything about that. I just tend fires. Is there
I
something
wait
else?
uncomfortably long. No, thanks. I stand back up. And I leave. I look for is she in here, that woman?
Patricia?
Patricia, yeah.
No,
That's
Patricia's
my
the
girl.
bartender.
Yeah, that's my girl.
No, yeah, not Patricia.
The one who hired you the other day. No, she's not here. In the days before cell phones and GPS and landlines and,
Wasn't
you
easy.
just have to sometimes just got to wait around for a while to find someone. So if you want to find her, I will roll a die and see how many days it takes, and that'll be that.
During that,
Her name's
if you-
Terrapin, by the way.
if you want to wait for Terrapin, you can, and I'll just go find a good, which place has the best market.
Yeah, you go and do that. I mean,
We can just
I'll
do the rolls. Yeah, it'll be.
I'll stay in the tavern and wait to see if anything else comes up. I'm not sure I'm necessarily going to confront her, but
Perfect. It's Saturday. I go to the market and I'm looking for, which one is the craze of the day. But I'm also looking, I understand that a cheap stall might have a lot of people. I'm looking for the high class stall where there's a few noble ladies, going there and buying some stuff. I'm trying to.
You want to find the fancy
redcoat
stall. Yeah, well, the noble ladies are all going to be in the inner city. That's where all the
Got it.
real money is. Out here in the outer city, you can do some of the non-nobles, maybe some like the
Hear me out.
mid-tier merchants.
No one ever comes out here to be like, oh, you know, there's like this stall that's like popped up in the redcoats area. It's all the rage these days. And then like people come and check it out because they're not in the inner city yet.
You mean like some of the higher ups of the outer city is what you're looking for? Yeah, because those people exist. Like there's a ranking, and there's the highest people in the outer city, and you want to find where they might shop. Why don't you? I want you to make me an intelligence check and a charisma check.
Okay.
Yeah.
26 on the charisma check. There we go.
Oh, killing it. And it was a 16 on the intelligence?
Yeah.
Great. Let me just get our...
Those are the dump stats, too.
Right. So as Pigeon walks around the city, trying to figure out like where to go for this job, you're thinking, Pigeon. You're using all the brain cells you've got. And after, half an hour, you're like, I have no idea where these fancy people would go. My mom was a working girl in a gang bar. I haven't the foggiest idea how to find this stuff. But then your eye catches something. Your eye catches those like flowing robes that are held tightly just below the bosom and tightly around the hips. Those flowing robes that remind you of the nicer things your mother used to wear back when she worked at that tavern. And your eye catches a courtesan, one of the you and I might call them escorts, but this is one of the upper levels of working class. We're gonna use that euphemism, ladies and gentlemen of the city, who would never stoop to being in a bar or something like that. This is the sort of person that you have to know to be able to call out someone who's got style, someone who's got fashion. And you watch her head into a building that's got a sign out front. But Pigeon, I think you're illiterate, right? You can't read. You have no idea what this signs. It doesn't have a symbol. It's just got fucking gibberish scrawled across
Something to think about for the future, though.
And this real high-class lady begins to step into that place. And that's where it gets interesting, because when you see that, she approaches the door, someone from the inside opens it before she even gets to it. And in the brief moment that it's opened, first off, you see the person who opened it is wearing chainmail with a sword at their side. So like heavily guarded building. But behind this person, there's these fabrics draping down from like the rafters. And there's two other people in there. A very, studly gentleman, let's call it, with a really short vest that's unbuttoned in the front, and his curly chest hairs are sticking out, and his tight waist and his like six-pack abs are showing off. And there's this other sort of slender looking, very androgynous person, but very slender looking, with a green cap tilted off to their side and a similar sort of tight vest, but this one's buttoned up inside. And they seem to be discussing a feathered hat. And then the lovely courtesan walks in, and the man with the chainmail and the long sword, short sword, some sword, does like a quick glance around the street just to, make sure nothing untoward is going on, that there's no one sneaking in. And then he'll shut the door, keeping his eyes out in the street the whole time. And you get a couple things here. First off, this place has definitely got money because they can afford a really good doorman who's got chainmail and a sword.
Chainmail.
Right. Secondly, by the same metric, it's extremely well guarded. And as we mentioned earlier in this campaign, any something that goes on in that shop, violence is a quick and easy response, right? And the third thing you're going to get from this place is that, this might be where the high class working folks head. The high class working girls and boys might be headed to. This might be Maybe it's a meeting place for these people. Maybe it's just a clothing shop for these people. Maybe this is the spot where you hire these people. Whatever it is going on in here, it's related to the flesh industry, and it's got money.
I had a brain blast. Hear me out, Nick. When I come back later and I recant this to you.
What if we follow the bodyguard home? We don't have to kill him, but we take his chainmail and we leave a note the next day, saying like, oh, I can't make it, I'm too sick, but I have my friend here who's going to come in and do the guarding. And then you'll stand watch that day. And you can get more info on what's happening on the inside.
How do we leave the note?
On the door? Under the door?
I kind of shrug.
Are they just going to trust the new guard that turns up?
What are they going to do? They're just not going to have a guard for the day?
I kind of shrug.
Feels like quite a lot could go wrong there. I mean, it's a good idea. I like it as a sort of
He's got
narrative
chainmail.
plan.
What if we just go to his house and take his chainmail? At the minimum.
Yeah.
That's a score.
That's a score. True. Yeah.
You're going to follow him home, find where he lives?
Sure.
I go back. And I'm going to go to a nearby tavern or a nearby place. And I'll watch it for the rest of the day. And I'm going to see what happens. And then my goal right now will be to follow the bodyguard to his house and see where he lives.
Mm-hmm. Is there any reason that Luther's not joining you, Pigeon?
He could join me. I thought he was waiting around for Terrapin.
Oh, is that what's going on? You're going to wait for Terrapin and he's going to...
I'm not necessarily waiting for Terrapin, but I'm just like showing my face at the tavern,
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So, Pigeon, you will wait. And this guard hangs out until the market begins to die down. The sun begins to set in the sky. Life begins to slow down. Everyone's going home for the evening. And you'll see towards the end of the day here, after everyone's long left the building, finally you can see the lights begin to wink out in the windows. The windows that have like actual thick paned glass and have...
Can I say, if possible, I want to be hiding on a roof. And I want to follow the guy via rooftop, which I think I can do with my lasso and my tight walking proficiency. If I need to like get over a huge gap or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's my goal.
Also, wait, a quick question. This guy, is he wearing his armor while he's walking home?
We'll see.
Because if he is...
Well, let's deal with the rooftop thing first. You want to not be waiting in a tavern. You want to be waiting on a roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be one mild check to see if you can just
Hiding
get up on a
check?
rooftop without...
Oh, climbing check?
I want like a quiet check or a stealthy check of some kind, just to see if you can get somewhere without really drawing too much attention. What's your best stealthy related
Hide?
activity? Hide?
Yep.
Yeah, give me a hide check here.
Hide or
You've got
dex,
all
yeah.
the time in the world, so let me just take a quick look at the modifiers.
29.
That's definitely
Before
going to do it.
mods.
Yeah. Let's make a quick double check on this. Because you've got time, right? You've got all day, so you can find the best way up. You can take your time to make sure that you've got cover whenever anything's happening. You find a spot that you want to climb and it doesn't work, you can like drop down and hide and then go around, and then you lasso from building to building. So full sunlight, good cover. Yeah, you're fine. 100% got up there. So at nighttime, you see the lights begin to wink out in the building. The building has like wooden shutters on the outside, but they also can afford like thick paned glass
Bars.
that's set in like a stained glass sort of mosaic. It's not stained, but it's got that thin wire, or that, I shouldn't say thin wire, but that metal cores that will keep the so even if you manage to break the glass, it would still be too tight to crawl into. You see the lights go out in these windows, and then the door opens, and out steps three people. Out steps three civilians and two armed and armored guards. The three civilians look like merchants. They've got nice, long, draping clothes. And they will kind of take a look, step outside, take a quick look around. The 2 armed and armored people are wearing chainmail and swords. They are wearing it in public. This is a clear declaration of, if you get anywhere near me, I will
Kick your
fuck
ass,
with you. And to someone else, this might also mean that they're out looking for murder. Like, they're not carrying a shield like they're about to go kill someone, but they are wearing their armor in the streets.
But like my question would be, if we were to openly attack them in the street, it would be sort of okay. Like, people would just stay out of the way. It would be expected.
I mean, if you were to openly attack anybody in the streets, people would stay out of the way, right? No one wants to get involved in violence.
So when you're saying like you don't want to walk around the city wearing a sword, the reason is because you might get attacked, right? Because you're kind of like saying that I'm fair game.
The sword means you're fair game. It also means that you have something to protect and you've got like assets, financial assets. So if you want, you could just look for people who are armed and armored and you could go hunting them down because they probably have got money. At the very least, they've got like gear that you could sell.
But there's a reason that they're armed and armored.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, anyone who's working at a shop like this and is wearing this sort of armor and weapons, they're probably not a 0th or 1st level fighter.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the 3 civilians, the 2 guards, they come out, and as a unit, the 5 of them begin to walk. I'm going to bring up the map for us to take a look at. The spot you were... Let me bring the map up itself.
My guess is what's going to happen is the guards are probably going to take these 3 people home. So I'm going to want to mark them down if that is what happens.
That's exactly what's going on.
Perfect.
Yeah. They
Good idea.
leave the shop, which is... on the east side of the main road. And then they just begin to head east towards one of these large towers, one of these large ventilation shafts that goes down underground. And they don't walk far. They walk 2 blocks. And that's when I'm going to need you to make me... We're going to just... At some point, as you're going from roof to rooftop, there's going to be the moment where... you need to get across fastest, and we're just going to take the most important of all of your rooftop to rooftop maneuvers and see if you can get across fast enough to keep an eye on them. Let me just do a quick read on tightrope walking. I don't know if you need to make a check every time you want to try it. You might just auto pass that one, and it might be the lasso check that we need, or we might need both. Tight rope walking. Can attempt to walk narrow ropes or beams. He can negotiate any narrow surface not angled greater than 45 degrees. Each round you can walk 60 feet. 1 proficiency check is made every 60 feet or part thereof, with failure indicating a fall. A check is made with a -10 penalty to the ability score if the surface is 1 inch or less in width. A rope. -5 penalty if 2 inches to 6 inches wide, and unmodified if 7 to 12. That's bullshit. That's ridiculous. A -10 penalty if you're actually walking a tight rope. I'm
using the
veto
tightrope
that
proficiency. Yeah, I was just thinking like that is insane. If you're using your proficiency, -10.
You can attempt to fight while on a tightrope, but suffers a penalty of 5 to your attack roll and must make a proficiency check at the beginning of each round. I get behind that. If you want to fight while tightrope walking, 100%. But a -10.
But the other guy should get negatives too, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just a regular tightrope check, please, sir.
Just a regular one?
Yeah. And I think... Excellent. I think we're also going to need a lasso, because this is a matter of speed and urgency. So,
lasso or rope use?
We want
Lasso's
you to
an attack.
Lasso a building. I think we want you to make an attack roll against something that's like, it's just an unmoving chimney. So like something, make an attack roll against AC 6. Yeah, easy peasy. You lasso the rope, the chimney across the way. You pull it tight. The issue with the lasso, of course, is that you can set it up and walk across something once, but then you can't get the rope back. Right? So you can lasso and walk from one
Can't
building
you do
to
like
the
a
other.
slip rope where you like pull it and then it goes untight? Or is that
you know what? There is such a knot. I
I've
can't
got, like,
remember
the
its
rope
name
piece or
right
whatever.
now. You have to lasso, pull, tighten, and maintain tautness in the line, and then when you get to the other side, you would untie the lasso end, and then when the slack comes out, you can whip it back. Yeah. And that's why it's important to pass these, is because you can't just tightrope immediately from buildings. You have to lasso, tighten, tie, walk, undo, and then like as you get to the next spot, have to. So it has to be really, really quick. But with a 28 on the check and a 22 on the attack roll, it happens smoothly, and you can catch up to these fuckers as they move through the city. And sure enough, you see they come to a house that sits in the evening shade of this tower, right? Because this is to the left is where the sun rises, to the right is where the sun sets. I got it backwards. To the right is where the sun rises, to the left is where the sun sets. So it would sit in morning shade and get evening light here. And it's right up against one of these towers. I mean, not physically against the tower, but it's the last building next to a tower, and it faces away from the tower. And it's another one of these apartments where all of the units are touching each other, but it's not a nice long row. This is more of like a square building when there's like 2 entrances on each side. So maybe 4 units. I'm sorry, 2, 4, 6, 8 units in the entire block. And it's all slammed together with no backyard space whatsoever. It looks a lot more like a modern apartment block building. Yeah. It's 3 stories tall. The 2 armed guards will get to the door. They'll wait for the 3 people to go inside. The 3 people
Is there a
inside
knock
will
or
wave.
anything, or do they just open it up with a key?
They produce a key and go in. And then they wave to the guards.
Can I
The
take
guards
note of
wave to
who had the
them.
key?
Yes.
This might be what we were talking about, mate.
Yeah.
There were 2 women and a man group. One of the women, the blonde woman, had the key.
Okay, the blonde lady has the key.
And these are merchants, not the performers.
Correct. These are not
Yep.
the
Yeah.
workers.
Yeah.
All right. I will follow the 2 guards then.
Okay. You follow the 2 guards.
Do they take off their chainmail now?
Nope. They walk home. Their home is they walk around the tower, and they walk, out over here, still within Redcoat territory, but outside of the green zone, outside of that like safer, more well-traveled, more reliable, just out into the slightly cheaper rent areas, not too terribly far away, just a couple of blocks. And one of them stops at one house, and then the other goes like 3 or 4 doors down into their own house. So they're unrelated, or at least not
close
living
by.
together, but they are nearby.
Okay.
Yeah, each one produces a key and heads into their own building.
And they keep their armor on the whole way.
It's not a
Until they
long
get-
walk from the start to the end, but they do maintain their weapons and armor the whole way.
Could I tell a dynamic of like who is head guard or anything like that?
From the rooftops and trying to keep hidden, I need you to make me a
Yeah.
charisma check at like -4. It'll be real hard. No way.
Perfect. Okay.
Luther. I did it.
Yeah. All right, great. What did you find out?
I explain about, the trade that they're doing, and then I'll explain where the houses are.
One of the houses in the evening shade of the tower, and the key owner is a blonde lady who the 2 guards with chainmail walked him back the whole way. Then the guards live outside of the green zone, nearby to one another on like the east side.
So these 3 rich merchant types all live in the same house?
The same building. There's 8 different units, I think. It's a 3-story. I couldn't tell you which one they're in, which room they're in yet.
Isn't it a bit strange that 3 rich merchants all live in the same apartment building?
I shrug.
Maybe the
What
other
if,
2 are their concubines?
What if that's not where they live? You said it's by one of the towers. What if it's an entrance to a passageway or something?
Could be. It's like right next to the tower.
Do I think that could be like a thing, Neil, where is it connected to the tower at all or no?
Well, the tower ventilates the dungeons underground. Well, the dungeons and the lairs and the pits, perhaps. So everything deep underground is in one way or another connected to these towers.
Got it. I'm asking you, like, is the building touching the tower?
No. There's a nice fat, 30-foot gap between the opposite side of the building and the tower.
But very possible that there could be like some underground hole going into that ventilation shaft. It's possible.
I mean, any dungeon or lair, any lair or pit worth its salt is going to have a ventilation shaft attached to one of these towers, guaranteed. Otherwise, that everyone would just suffocate down there.
Okay.
So all dungeons are that way.
I shrug to Luther.
Who do you want to go after first? We could go to the guards.
I don't know. It sounds like a serious operation. Those guards, they're not going to be pushovers. We'd have to get the jump on them to have a chance.
Have to sneak in at night, or maybe wait for them when they're in their own house while they're at work.
Wait for them to go to work and then try and break in, yeah? We could try and break into that building the merchants went to when they're in the market.
I get a bad feeling about that building. If they're willing to be guarded to get there, my guess is that there's going to be guards on the inside.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Yeah.
You want to watch it for a few days? You watch the guards' place and I'll watch the building?
Yeah, we can do. I mean, we can guarantee that there's going to be guards inside those guard houses because the guards themselves live there. Although, I suppose not if they're at work.
And
We could just kill them when they're asleep if we need to do it.
Yeah, we could.
Just make sure there's no sword or their chainmail. Be nice to get their chainmail for both of us.
Do you really want to wear chainmail?
I kind of shrug.
During a fight, it could be useful. I can get it on really quickly.
I guess so. Out of character, I'm more interested in the merchant thing, although there's no reason to believe that anything could be there and it's a bit more risky. Killing these guards for their chainmail is, I suppose, like a line we could go.
We don't even have to kill them. We could just take their chainmail and go.
Yeah.
Chainmail's worth what? Like 60 gold in this area?
It's a lot.
It's worth a lot, yeah.
Your mic cut off, Koibu?
It's worth a lot.
A lot, yeah.
But to Nick's point, that it's a high risk, high reward operation. If you get them, that's money. That's real good money. And those guards are probably well paid, If you could get in there and steal their stuff without them noticing, that's a nice haul. But if they notice, or if their house has any traps or alarms or any signals like that, you might be looking
really
down
risky.
the barrel of a 3rd, 4th, or 5th level fighter who would have, +2 to damage and plus, many to attack.
I think the best time to do it is when they're at work.
But they'll be wearing the armor.
Yeah, but I can hide better than I can move silently.
What do you mean? Like we break into the house and we wait for them?
I know, yeah.
We can set up like a trap of some sort.
What if
We
they've
could
got
just let 'em
family?
go. That's what we watch the house for.
Okay. Those 2 houses are next to each other, Neil, so I guess I could watch those 2 houses at the
They're
same
close,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll watch the merchants and we'll see like if there's a changing of the guard, because I agree with you. I would hope that we could do both of these. But we'll see. So I guess we'll do that for a few days.
Okay. So we're not going to be looking out for Terrapin. We're going to be scouting out these folks instead.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't we take a break right here and we'll come back on the other side with a little bit more Hardly Heroes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. So we're going to spend a week staking out these houses.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. So within that week, hold on, processing. Brain is rendering. Okay, got it. Within that week, you're going to find out a lot about the houses these guards went into. First off, there are other people who live here. One house, after a week of watching who's coming and going, because this is a lively city, and when you're not in the employed part of town, when you're in the more residential section, there's people that visit many houses, and neighbors come over and friends come over, and there's a lot of movement. It takes you a while to figure out who's actually properly living here. One house has 2 kids, pregnant wife, and 3 other adults. The other house has 5 kids, a wife, and 4 other adults. But that's not all. The kids get together in the streets. They're various ages, and the elder ones are practicing in the streets with wooden swords. But not just any wooden swords, because you got a week here to watch this stuff. There's something off about them, and it takes you a little while to figure it out. But when you do, you realize that these are wooden swords that have lead cores or metal cores to them that make them heavy. And you can tell one day that there's something off about them, and then one kid drops them. And instead of, a stick drops to the ground and sort of bounces back and forth a few times before it settles down. This is more just like a whap and clang to the ground. It hits the ground very much unlike a wooden stick would. So these kids, whoever these kids are, they are definitely in weapons training. And maybe they're brave enough to start some shit when someone comes in. Maybe they're not. But if you tried to break into these houses, you might be in a situation where a dumb child might try to fight you.
Yeah.
What about the other adults? Are they women, or are they other men who could be guards?
The one that has the 2 children and the pregnant wife has the other 3 adults there are all women. 2 of them are youngish, in their 20s or something like that, and one of them appears to be middle-aged. So maybe these are sisters or nieces, or maybe they're full-grown adult children of the guard.
Is he old enough to have full-grown adult children?
In his 30s or 40s. He started
Probably
early.
not then.
He'd have to have started early. Yeah.
I have to say, I think that so many people living in there make it difficult to consider this a real target. I mean, we can have this conversation at this point because we're seeing each other every night, aren't we?
Is there a time?
Is there a time when they're all gone?
Hard to imagine a time when they're all gone.
The only thing I can imagine is if they all go to church at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the week that you do this, and maybe for a certain festival they would, maybe for a certain high holiday they would all go to some event together. Maybe there's a family reunion.
How far is that out?
Well, we're in April right now. The next major holiday is May 5th. And that is Fool's Day. But that's more of a father-son holiday. The next major holiday after that, I don't think is until July 1st is Mother's Day.
Okay.
The real big holiday would be August 13. That's Jubilee, but we're in April, so that's a long way off.
I think it's worth it to steal some armor.
Yeah, I agree with you. So then what do I see?
This is what both of you are seeing during that week. The other family has an elderly woman, a youngish man in his 20s, a middle-aged man, and an elder.
I was
much
checking
older
out
man.
the house with the 3 owners.
Oh, you were doing. Sorry, I thought you were.
He
both
was
on this
doing
one.
the guards because he's they're right next door.
Got it. Okay. The house with the 3 owners, right? It's one big building. And there are 8 entrances, 2 on each side. This building appears to be under some sort of like HOA that has a security detail for the entire house, because as you scout this one out, you'll see that there's someone on the fucking rooftop. Sometimes there's 2 someones on the rooftop, and they definitely have bows, and they definitely have like whistles or horns or some sort of like, you'll hear them make a noise from time to time. It's kind of high pitched, too high pitched to be a horn. And so there's somebody always on the roof of that building throughout that week, kind of watching. And that means that, you know, maybe it's just the one person on the roof. Maybe there is a common room or a common corridor or a common like canal between all of these things. But it does appear to have its own security detail.
Question is, the person on the roof, I watch him for a day. When is the changing of the guard over this week? And does this person leave the house or like to go home? Or do these people, under my presumption, live here?
Right. So this is where it's going to get interesting, because if their job is to watch the house and you're trying to watch the house, then they're going to be watching out for people like you who are watching them. So we're going to need to get into a spy, counter spy, sniper, counter sniper concept here. So I'm going to need you to make me hide checks every day that you want to watch it, and I will oppose with their perception checks in secret every day. And, you know, if they spot you multiple days in a row, it's going to throw up a flag. Yeah. So why don't you make your hide checks one at a time, and then you tell me when you want to stop making hide checks.
So that's the first night.
Okay. So that's a pretty bad hide check.
Pretty bad.
That's pretty bad.
So during this day, do I feel like I've been spotted?
No one shouts from the rooftops, "Hey, you there, what are you doing?"
Correct.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I think it's probably at the end of this day that you notice that there's somebody up on the rooftops walking around looking down.
Got it. Okay, this day, the next day, I'm going to go back, but I'm going to change it up. I'm going to swap my clothing. I'm sure I have another outfit. Put on a hat. And this next day, I'm going to try from a roof. So I'm swapping positions, and I'm going to make another hide check. 22 plus whatever.
Okay.
Do I feel like anything different this day? This day, I'm going to be watching specifically the guy's movements, and I'm going to, I guess, maybe make a perception check to see if he notices
the
me.
rooftop guy's movements?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and make me a perception check.
33.
Yeah, well, they're on third story roof. You're on a third story roof. You're sort of looking parallel. There's not a fuck ton of cover up here. And yeah, the person definitely sees you. You know, from the rooftops, you can see that this isn't the only building in the vicinity that has like eyes up on top that are watching down.
Got it.
This part of the neighborhood is a lot nicer than the piece of shit neighborhood where you live. Yeah. And it appears around here, at least, you know, there's enough money that there are security details on these roofs. And as you watch for the day, you'll see that halfway through the day, a little bit after high noon, there is a changing of guards. Someone will appear from like a staircase that leads up to the rooftop, and they'll come out and they'll meet and they'll like talk with the person for a few minutes. And then the person who's on top begins to go down the staircase.
Do I see him like motion over towards me or towards like a roof?
Give me another perception check.
21.
It's subtle. It's very subtle, but when they are talking, there is people talk with their hands a little bit, but one of these hand gestures is like a thumb back in your direction. And it's just a quick one. And maybe it's you, or maybe it's something else in your direction, but there is sort of
but
a
I'm gonna
motion.
take it as me, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll inform Luther.
They have multiple houses with people on top, and they've definitely spotted me 2 nights in a row.
Well, that doesn't sound good. Maybe this is too much heat. But I will say though, I was thinking about what you were saying. There might be 8 different houses, right? But they all went in through the same door, didn't they?
A nod.
So they all live together? 3 merchants?
Well, there's 2 entrances. Maybe they all live on different rooms, different floors.
There's 8 entrances, right, Neil said? 2 on each side.
Right. So it's a big building with 8 entrances. These 3 people all went in through the same door on the west entrance.
I mean, it's interesting. I'm not sure what to do about it, though. Like, if we try and pick that lock, you'll get shot by the archers, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be... I think about the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Can the roofman see the door? I'm assuming it's going to be another roof that actually sees that door.
Well, no, actually. If you were to look straight down, the door is actually recessed inside. If you were picking a lock, there's no way the bowman on that building could see you. But this is, I think, for you guys, you're still new to this whole game. You're not sure how these details work. Is it like there's one security company that mans all these roofs and they're all working together? Or is each roof having its own thing? Or maybe this guy guards that building and this guy guards that building? Like, there's a whole network of security things here that you rookie thieves are still opening your eyes to. But it does appear like there's serious money in here, but that serious money has attracted a certain level
serious guarded, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's something that we'd come back to at a higher level. Maybe it's just too dangerous.
I think it's too dangerous right now. I think the guards are also maybe too dangerous too.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so many people in the house. Like, I don't know how we can manage it. It'd be a tough fight just against that one guard.
Mm-hmm. Bookmark it for later in your career?
I guess so. We're kind of slowly, well, not slowly, actually, quite rapidly going bankrupt, though.
Yeah. I mean,
True.
Our skills aren't to be undersold.
I know, but we can't find a job anywhere.
Maybe we follow one of the guards and we follow his route. Maybe he goes to the pub on this day and maybe we can gank him and take his key. We kill the dad. We take what he has. His kids aren't going to put up a fight. We're really just worried about him.
Yeah, but there's 4 other adults, right? In the house.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
yeah.
We could, so you're saying attack the guard in the street?
I'm saying
Sneak attack him.
we sneak attack the guard in an alley or somewhere like that. We get him. We kill him, incapacitate him, doesn't matter. Then we go for the house. The only thing we're really going to have to worry against is the 15-year-old kid getting, a stick up his ass and fighting us, which will probably happen. I don't think we need to worry about the ladies fighting back.
Classic,
yeah. Well, they don't seem like... Do they seem like fighters?
There were 2 houses, right? One had a pregnant woman, 2 women in their 20s, and one in their, middle-aged area. They didn't seem like fighters. Like, they weren't practicing with swords or anything like that.
The pregnant woman's not going to fight back. The 2 20-year-olds for sure might.
But like, where do we? The 2 guards are going to be together, apart from that last little stretch of distance where all the kids and it's in the middle of the street.
These guys don't work 7 days a week, do they?
It wouldn't be impossible.
It wouldn't be impossible, no.
Oh, so you're saying gank him when he's not in his armor?
Yeah, I'm saying we longer con it. We look for him to have a day off, and we find him when he's not in his armor. We gank him. He's out of the picture. Now the house is a lot more open. Because the issue is if the 4th level fighter, 5th level fighter has a sword and his armor, we can't win that. But we can definitely beat a 1st level fighter kid.
Yeah.
And 2 0th level fighter, other kids, or his mom, We're running out of money, and that's the fucking problem.
We're running out of money. We're not, like, our skill set isn't in murder.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's in
it's in
theory.
breaking and entering and stealing, breaking locks. So this isn't the best way for us to make money. But the thing is, we're struggling to find anything else to pursue.
Maybe we
in the-
talk to Steel Team 6. Tell them about the merchants. Maybe they'll have an idea to deal with the people on top. Maybe they can go and create a distraction for us to get in here. And then we split the loot. Because that is where our skill set is. I agree with you. It's getting into there quietly, being able to pick the lock and getting in. And Steel Team 6 could create a distraction.
Yeah, potentially. I don't think they're gonna do that for us though. Just yet. I wonder if there's another way into that building. Like, I wonder if the 8 of them are connected to each other. And if they are, we only need to get into one.
It's true, but the issue is still the fact that there's guards.
Yeah, but there'd have to be like a maintenance entrance or something. We could disguise ourselves as workers of some description.
I'll go back a third day, Neil, and I'm gonna walk. So I'm gonna be walking around the building, walking around the area. I'm obviously gonna not try to be sketchy, etc. So here's my hide check. 30. Today, I'm going to be walking around the building and I'm going to look for like the door that I think the least amount of people on the roof can see. Hopefully nobody could see, unless the guy was like standing nearby.
Yeah, well, the eastern door faces that big ventilation tower. And so there's nobody, like the tower would be where another building might have been where there could be a guard on the roof. So the eastern doors have the least amount of observability on them by far.
Okay. And I look at the door. If I get in the doorway, do I feel like I can pick it without being noticed by the guy on the roof at the bare minimum?
Absolutely. If you can get into the doorway, no one from the roof is going to see you. The only person who could see you if you're in the doorway is someone walking between the building and the ventilation tower. And it's a big boulevard. It's like 30 feet wide. It's a huge gap, which does mean like it's a great road for traffic. It's a great road for people to like move their cattle and their herd animals, or to like try and turn a wagon around on. So it's a really useful road, but it's also slightly out of the way. So sporadic levels of high activity.
Okay. I'll go back to Luther and report.
Okay.
Right. We could get in on the east side. The guy can't see on the roof, and the other people on the other side can't really see.
Okay, so that gets us in. Do we think that these 8 doors are 8 different houses? So like would be going into someone's house here? Or is there like maybe one of these is like a maintenance entrance?
They all look like regular doors. They have numbers on them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Presumably anyone who lives here is going to have some amount of
He's
welfare.
going to have something. So we might not get them, the people we wanted, but we're getting something, you know?
All right, I say we go.
Well, okay, wait. Let's take one day and I'll watch that door specifically and try and work out who comes in and out of that house.
Which door are you watching specifically?
The one that we're planning to...
The eastern one? The door that's really hard to observe?
Yeah.
Well, no, not from the big boulevard, right?
That's true. But that would mean standing more or less in the open with no cover for a day.
Poses a beggar?
Super obvious that you were watching it. Like that would be...
People pass this way all the time. I'd just be begging on the street here. I think that seems...
It's an unusual place to beg.
It's an unusual place to beg, but he's doing it.
I'm not saying you can't. I just want to I don't want you to be under any false assumptions. It's an unusual place to stop and beg. Because it's a area with sporadically traveled levels of high traffic where like people are turning around carts and wagons. If you're begging, you're going to want a higher foot traffic area. It's next to one of the vents. It's a bit of an odd spot, I think. I'm not saying you can't. I don't
even beg then. I just like rough sleep. I'm not begging. I'm just like I'm out of the way. I'm sleeping rough.
So you're gonna spend a night out in the streets, probably.
Well, on the day, yeah.
Okay. Would you? Let me take a quick look over here.
Disguise?
Yeah, I just want to add up the modifiers before you roll the dice. think you have absolutely no modifiers to this whatsoever. So just make me flat disguise check.
Oh,
Yeah.
For God's sake.
So it's real close. You're going to easily pass as, someone sleeping rough on the streets. Unless someone's paying close attention to you, then they might notice that, something. Who knows what it would be. But you hang out for the day, resting, relaxing. You spend the night.
All I care about is people coming in and out of that door.
Yeah, the 2 eastern doors on this one day that you're checking, nobody enters them. Nobody exits them. They are completely untouched for the, 24 hours-ish that you're watching it.
Must be an investment property for like a Russian oligarch. They just bought it as an investment and no one lives there.
Classic.
Victimless crime. Let's go. Okay, I report back and say, weirdly, I didn't see anyone coming in and out of there. It's almost like no one lives there, or maybe it's a rich person's second home, or... But yeah.
Good. Maybe we can... I shrugged. Maybe we can get in there then.
Yeah, I think we should go at night.
I nod.
It's the best time to go.
I mean, like, archers on the roof aren't going to be too effective at night, are they? All right, great. So we can go there the next night. I think I've just done an all-nighter on the street, so I'll go back to sleep during this part of the day, and then we can get ready to go there this evening.
All right, so that will be Tuesday the 16th.
We need money. And we go. No armor. Our goal is not to be seen, so we're going to go in the best way that we think. And I'll have my lockpicking kit.
I
ready
do
to
take
go.
my short sword with me, though, Neil.
Okay.
I bring my daggers.
Daggers, short sword, dead of night. Now, April 16th is the day after the full moon. So there's as much moonlight practically as possible you're going to get. Let's check for cloud cover this evening. It is springtime. But there is moderate cloud cover. So you can wait for an opportunity when the moon is covered and make your way from one side of the tower to the other side of the tower and then across to this entryway. There's 2, one on the left, one on the right. You have no reason to believe either one is more useful than the other or at all different.
I'll call for Luther to do an eavesdrop check.
Yeah. Sorry to break the flow of things. Quick question. Did they steal my leather armor when they stole the gems?
They stole both sets of our leather armor.
Yep. They stole everything of value. Those
Fuckers.
damn bastards. This
right.
short sword that you've got is the one that you stole from the demon slayers, right?
Yes.
It's your magic one.
I stole it from the fucking sheath, the scabbard of an
Right.
active guard.
Right. Excellent.
Add a +1, Mac.
Eavesdrop. Okay, good.
Classic.
16.
All right. I'm
Nice.
assuming he doesn't hear anything, so I'm going to
Yeah.
find and remove traps, which is a pick locks check, I believe.
So you get up to the lock and you're going to take a look at it. So roll me your pick locks.
Natural 20.
Yes. This door is trapped. There's something about the tension in the handle that if this door is unlocked, if it is opened, if the key's inserted and it turned, it's going to break something that's holding tension. And I don't know, maybe that's a bell, maybe that's an attack. It's not like coming out of the lock, but it's going to trigger something somewhere else. There's definitely a trap on this door.
Understand if there's a way to disarm this? Yeah.
To disarm this is going to be effectively lock picking something that is like a higher lock pick check.
Okay.
You're gonna need to pick the lock with extra restrictions. So let me just take a look at our lock picking table over here. Pick locks. This is a good lock, so it's going to have to be picked as if it were an excellent lock. What's your lock picking skill?
17.
Okay, so the difference is D4 hours to pick this thing. And during those D4 hours, you're going to need, not to be bothered by anyone.
Fucked with, yeah.
Yeah. Now, D4 hours, you can do that in a night if no one fucks with you. But if someone has seen you approach and someone's going to come by and fuck with you guys because you are in the doorway, well, that's D4 hours that you're waiting for an encounter. That is a roll of the die for danger.
What are you thinking, Nick?
Not breaking any law, are we?
Oh, we're just checking out the door. We're just sitting here.
Yeah.
Is it raining?
Yeah. Nope.
I keep watch.
All right. D4?
I keep watching it.
I'll roll it. Yeah.
I keep watching, and I agree a signal to like make a run for it. So I think what I will do is basically throw a stone at a specific place. Like if there's like a metal trash can or something like that, I'm just gonna slam a stone into it if there's someone coming.
Okay.
To alert him.
Yeah. Well, let's just say drop a stone because you'll be nearby him, or toss a stone because there's no trash cans in this world.
I don't think I do need to be that nearby him, actually. Right?
I don't know. Do you want to be in the doorway? Do you want to be out in the boulevard? Do you want to be on the steps?
Well, I want to be able to see people coming, right? So that the best position for that might not be in the doorway itself.
Yeah, if you're in the doorway, you can kind of look left and right and get a short warning if someone's coming. If you're out on the other side near the tower, 30 feet away, you'll have a better angle of viewing, and so you'll be able to see people coming from a much better spot, but then you will be yourself out in the open. So better viewing angles means less cover.
All right.
What do you want to do,
We
Nick?
do it.
Luther. Badass
all right,
Luther.
fine. I'll stay in there. I'll stay in there.
You stay in cover?
Yeah.
It's fine. No one travels this road at night anyways.
Sure enough. An hour, not even an hour, half an hour later maybe, the clouds have moved past the moon. One sole person comes walking down the street. They come from, the north side of the building. They hook a right. They're whistling to themselves as they walk down the street. Just a single person. They're wearing, short sleeves, the sort of tunic that ends in a bit of a skirt there, clearly unarmed, clearly unarmored, but just a lone person coming down this large boulevard in the middle of the night when no one else is around. What do you want to do when you first spot him?
I mean, we're in the dark, are we? Are we illuminated here?
I mean, it's the night after the full moon, so, there's some level of lighting.
We'll be in the shade somewhat, though.
Yeah.
Under the porch.
If they're not paying attention, they might not see you. If they are paying attention, if they come and look into that archway intentionally, they would see you.
Let them pass.
Yeah, I mean, I think I try and block the view of Pigeon, so it just looks like someone's standing in the archway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, much to your chagrin, this person whistling walks down the street and then comes up to the steps. Your steps. The steps that nobody entered in the last 24 hours or whenever that was you were watching this. And they stop and look up at you and say, "Oh, hi, howdy, neighbor. How you doing?"
Hey there. I say as I grab him.
You grab him. What do you mean?
Wait, is he trying to go to the door over?
He stops on the steps. His intention's unclear, but middle of the fucking night, whistling dude walks down the streets, comes to the steps, and then looks at you directly and says, "Howdy, neighbor." Real.
Yeah.
I mean, this is real suspicious activity, if you ask me.
It's very suspicious. More suspicious than what we're doing.
It's very weird.
Okay, fine. I am ready to grab him, is what I mean to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I I gruffly go, howdy.
Well, howdy.
That's what I said. Howdy. Move along. I like kick at him with my foot.
Okay. He puts his hands up, takes a step back into the street, continues walking down the boulevard, and if you take a look at the map, he came from the north side of the building, turned, came back down your side, right? You tell him off, and so he keeps walking, and then he just takes another turn and heads right back around the other side of the building.
As soon as he leaves, I'll turn back to the pigeon. Like, what do you think we should do? Grab him, let him go.
You already let him go, right?
Well, I was gonna grab him, and you were like, "You grab him." Maybe I should have
said
grabbed
that at
him.
all. No, I was just saying you grab him. I was just making sure.
Listen, Luther, go. I'm picking. You gotta figure it out. Don't listen to me. Just do what you want.
I don't know what to do, man. It's like risky if we grab him and he's not instead, and he could have just walked off, and we're just getting in more trouble. I head off after him, Neil.
Okay. Yeah. The pitter-patter of your feet on the street comes around the corner, and you catch the person. He's walked past the building, right? Because it's it's not terribly long.
I pick
of a
up my.
building.
Wait, he's walked. You said he went around the corner.
Yeah, so he comes around the corner on the top, right? He comes down the side, has an
starts
interaction
going
with
back.
you, starts heading back this direction. As you have a moment with Pigeon, then you chase off after him, and you get to him, coming over here. He makes like a turn to go back up this north direction.
Yeah.
And you're going to lose sight of him around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I take it
What's
you
the
chase
question?
after him?
What
I
are you
keep
doing?
going.
Yeah.
Well, you said he walks past the building. What do you mean? He walks around the corner? That's what you meant?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if it's a square building like this, you see that square I made on the top?
Yeah. Wait.
Right. And there's a set of doors. So the dude just comes here, over here, has a brief interaction with you, then here and here. And then as you chase after him, you see he's going northward again, like this.
Okay.
And,
so
and
not
I'm
gone
asking
past
if
the
you
building, just
chase him
round.
all the way to the corner or if you're going to let him go.
No, yeah, I keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get to the corner and you can see him stopping in the middle of this street right here, talking to 3 other people. And these 3 other people, they're not dressed like him. He's in just sort of loose clothing. These 3 people have, I wouldn't call it leather armor, but they've got like, thicker, warmer clothes on, and they have spears, and they're standing in the street.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
I run back.
very
We've got to
conspicuously.
leave. Gotta leave.
All right, we run.
Okay. You get Pigeon. The 2 of you start to bolt. Throwing a look over your shoulder, you can see, sure enough, the 3 spearmen plus the 1 person in plain clothes do come back around the corner, but you're gone by then, and they don't give any chase. They're not here to kill you. They're just here to protect the building, and that's their protection detail. This building, trapped doors, guards on the roof.
We should go back, Luther. They're gone. They're not gonna check it again. Who would go back? I'm almost done with the lock.
Okay. We go back.
We look for a moment where the cloud coverage is hopefully going over, and we go back.
We try and use our hide skill to approach the building this time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, the issue is that boulevard, 30 feet of open ground, gives very poor cover. So you can go ahead and make me hide checks at minus
I hit it.
12, which Mooton kills. Luther, not so much.
I'll do
At
minus
minus
12.
12?
Impossible.
Yeah,
You
there's
that's impossible.
no cover. There's no react. Yeah, you have to
It is-
hide essentially. Hold on, you do get a bonus because they get a penalty to their spot check because of the lighting
Right.
conditions. But you are, it's open ground. There's no hiding spots.
And the angle as well, right?
Well, who knows what they roll and who knows what they're doing, but
Yep.
the hide checks don't go. Pigeons goes amazingly, but yours, Luther, maybe not so much. You get back to that building. You get back to that spot, and Pigeon goes right back to picking the lock.
Yeah.
It would be almost... Well, surprise, surprise. 3 hours pass without anyone coming to say hello to you. Your plan of going back immediately seems to have completely worked, and
Genius.
whoever it was did not see you come back. And 3 hours later, the trap is disarmed. You found a way to maintain the right amount of tension in the lock, and not like it was clearly this one. What do you call it?
Pin.
Pin. Thank you. This one pin in particular was holding a lot of tension, and so the key has to be built to bypass this pin, and only these other ones in the back work. And there you go, with a little clickety clackety, swoopity shrappity, the door opens without triggering any traps or alarms.
Almost can't believe it, but we slip inside.
Just go back immediately. It's genius.
It worked this
genius.
time because they rolled a natural 3 on their perception check.
Good,
We're
good.
just missing you at the moment.
I'm in. I look around with my daggers out.
Yeah. Knives out. Step into the building. You would expect this side of the building to be, houses or an apartments or something like that. But that's not what you see over here at all. This door opens into a fairly disused room with a thick layer of dust sitting over everything. There is a table in the middle of the room with a candle, like an old dusty candle that no one's lit in months probably. Some chairs seated around it. There's a rack on one side of the wall that has some spears on it. There's a rack on the other side of the wall that has like a couple of shields and a container that would normally hold arrows or bolts for a crossbow, but there are no arrows or bolts in it at the time.
Are there any footsteps in here? In the dust?
Only the ones you're about to make.
Got it.
And the weapons and everything are also all covered in dust.
Yes. From where you're standing, everything seems to be dust covered, but it does appear to be some sort of armory or weapons cache or guard post. The table's arranged in the center of the room that would make it comfortable for 8 people to sit around. There's a few other tables against the walls. There's a couple of like old chicken bones that have been gnawed away and kind of scattered around on the ground by whatever varmints might have approached this room. Out of this room, there is a single door on the far side of the table on the dusty floor that heads deeper into this complex, and that's it. It's just some sort of guard room and a door on the far side.
There's also dust on the handle of the door, and like when we're opening the door, it feels like this door hasn't been opened for a long time.
Yeah.
I will go and check the other
it.
door for
Yeah.
traps.
Yep. You can get to the other door. Make me a lock check. Nope.
21.
It's trap free.
Okay.
Trap free.
I will try to open the door as silently as I can.
Yeah, it swings open on some old rusty hinges. So it's slow. You begin to open it and it begins to creak, and you slow it down. You take a lot of time applying a lot of pressure, so it's a smooth transition. It takes maybe a full minute to open this door quietly.
You know what my guess this room is?
What?
I'm gonna guess this is like these people's like panic room. So if something's going wrong, they can just run in here and get shields and spears, because anybody can wield a shield and a spear.
But the door is
That's my
trapped
guess.
from the outside.
Yeah.
So how would they get in?
From the inside, this door.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
my
maybe.
guess.
Yeah. Well, the door that you open here leads to an inner shaft. It's maybe it's like a stairwell in the very center of the building complex. There's no light. So the only light that you're able to see by is what might be filtering around the cracks of the back, the door that you had entered through, or maybe coming in through some of the windows in here. But this inner stairwell is maybe 10 feet across, maybe. And it's too damn dark in here to see anything else. You're going to need light.
Well, I light my hooded lantern.
Nice.
Excellent. The hooded lantern.
The best lantern.
Yes.
+2 to AC.
Perfect.
Easily.
you're on the first floor, the ground floor, and you can see that there is a staircase. It spirals up all the way up, and it also goes down. It goes down into the dungeon, to the tunnel levels of this city.
Let's go down.
Interesting.
Yeah. To your right, the staircase doesn't start immediately next to you. There's a bit of maybe a 10-foot walkway before the staircase starts, and right on the other side, like right along this walkway, would be another door. So there's 2 doors on this side of the building. Where's this? Oh, I deleted the drawing.
She's saying we could get into the other apartments.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a quick drawing again. If there are 2 doors on this side, then there's a room in here, and then there's like a doorway here, a walkway over here. And it seems like there's a doorway here as well. Like maybe there's a similar room on the next thing, or maybe there's just doors that are connecting.
Yeah, maybe check if it's
things.
locked.
I'll go and move silently and check the door.
Yeah, you can go over to that door.
I check it for traps. Natural 20.
Untrapped.
What a waste. And I'll open the door.
Yep. You can open this door. Room next door is this room, as you open it, has a lot more recent activity. There's no dust on the floor at all. There's actually a couple of candles that are still lit, meaning somebody's been in here tonight.
Probably still is here.
But this room has maybe 8 beds in it, in 4 sets of bunk beds, as well as some sort of common rooms.
So,
yeah, we should leave.
Clothing. Oh,
I'm taking a peek. Is there anything else in here? Are there any people?
there's no people right now.
Is there food?
There is some bread on a table, and an open jar of honey on a table. And there's a rat who's crawled up onto the table and is nibbling at the bread and honey.
Luther, should I swipe this? We can
The
stay in
bread?
the other room. No, yeah, we can stay in the other room.
Okay.
I'll
No.
swipe the bread.
You chase the rat off. You steal the bread.
Leave the honey, because I think they would notice that going missing. I'll close the door, and then I'll go back into the old room.
Okay, well, so the stairwell in the center of everything goes up to the 2nd and 3rd floor, although you can't see. You assume it goes all the way up, but you can't see any other doorways until you start walking around it.
So-
and it does go down.
I'm a little bit confused as to the layout of the building here, because that means that these apartments on the upper floors have no way into them without going through somebody else's apartment first.
It's more of like a common area that walks through the place, no?
Yeah, but
And then there's doors.
what's directly above the room we're in now?
That's a fantastic fucking question, dude.
Do you want to keep exploring, Luther, or do you want to lay low for the night?
Well, it's a good idea. We can lay low in here since they're not using it. It's a good point, but is this going to be easier to explore during the day, do you think?
Kind of shrug.
Probably better off at night, no?
Well, the best time to sneak in is at night, but
Sure. Yeah, I think at night is fine. Yeah, they didn't see anybody sneak in. There's no way their guard should be up. They should be more worried about people on the outside. So yeah, I think it is the best to explore at night. So do you want to go down or do you want to go up?
I kind of want to go up and just eavesdrop at the doors directly above the rooms we've just been in to see what could possibly be there.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, so I'm going to quickly and quietly go up 1 level of stairs, Neil.
Right. Well, the stairs wrap around. And so when you go up to the next level of stairs, the doors are actually not the doors above you. They're the doors that lead into the buildings on the other side of the staircase.
Oh, right.
Yeah. For where you're standing, you have no idea how you would get into the floors above you.
There must be a way down from the next level up.
You might have to get to the 3rd floor and go down, or
Yeah.
maybe the 2nd floor wraps around. Maybe this isn't multiple houses. Maybe it's like one giant establishment and with fake doors on the fronts. It could be anything. This could be the lair of some really important people. Or maybe
Yeah.
it's nothing. Who knows?
I quickly go up another set of stairs.
All right. So you get to, you go up a flight of stairs and there's a landing with a set of doors that lead onto the second floor on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
And then
go
the
up to the
staircase does
third.
continue going. It goes all the way up to the third floor where there's
Okay,
doors again on the
You're just gonna
east
get to the
side.
roof where the guard.
So I
is.
want to eavesdrop at the door that would be above the one we broke into.
That would be 2 floors above you.
Yeah.
Right. So you'd be on the top floor because it's a 3-story building.
Oh,
Then-
okay. This is the top floor, right?
Yeah.
Do I see a door to the roof as well?
The staircase does continue a little bit higher.
Okay.
Does he get anything from eavesdrop?
So quickly, I eavesdrop in the door.
Let's make a check here.
No. No.
Still
You get bonuses.
Oh, okay.
quiet. There ain't nothing happening behind that. You do get bonuses. And penalties for listening through a door, but bonuses for the silence. But you don't hear anything.
Do I hear nothing?
You hear nothing. You hear silence.
Because we've had this before that I'm not trying to hear specific words. I'm just trying to hear noise generally. So that's
Right.
Pin
easier.
drop
than-
silence, so you're probably
It's quiet.
Okay. I test the handle on the door. Is it locked?
It is locked.
Okay. I head back down to.
There's 2
The
doors
pigeon.
up here.
Yeah, I only checked the one that was above the room we came in.
I would be
Yeah.
right behind you, honestly.
Want me to open it?
Try it.
I'll open it.
Like,
I'll
how
check.
long will it take?
I'll check traps 1st.
Mm-hmm.
33.
It is trap free. This is a common lock. It is strength 5. You have strength 17 on your skills. So you can do this in a round. It takes you
I'll open it,
no
and
time
then-
at all.
yep.
All right.
You,
Nice.
you quickly
I
open
shine
this
the
lock.
lantern in. And do another eavesdrop check now that the door's open.
This room is finely decorated. There's like satin sheets. There's a big 4-post bed with like the sheer cloth that comes down the sides that would keep bugs out. There's
Is there anyone in
There's no one in it right now. It's completely dark. Lovely little decoration.
We enter and we close the door.
Candelabras, rich tables, carafes of liquor. This looks like someone's fuck pad.
Got it.
Fuck yeah. This has got to be money in here.
For sure.
Yeah. So let's get looting.
Are you concerned at
listen-
all about from whom you might be stealing?
No, I don't think so.
Excellent. All right, let's go. Let's loot the place.
I will listen through the door on through the wall next door.
Mhm.
Oh, I might add.
Luther, listen while I look for stuff.
Okay. I gauge my listening ability.
All right. Luther listens.
Chapow! 27.
Mooten searches.
No, wait, that was disguise. Sorry, it would only be a 22.
It's fine, pass. I search.
Luther listens. Mooten searches. Now, how much time are we going to dedicate to this? Because if you just want to find whatever you can as quickly as you can and get out of here as fast as possible, I'll just give you the most obvious stuff that of value. But if you want to take the time to like search every nook and
I
crevice,
think this
and look
room,
for-
it's just a quick grab, and I want to go downstairs.
Yeah.
Got it.
So in this room, I'm just grabbing like the satin sheets and the golden like spoons
Well, the
or whatever.
sheets
and
will
throwing
fill
them in
your
my
bag. You can take one sheet and your entire bag will be filled. 'cause
Then I don't
it's
want that,
bulky.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, what you can find is that the candelabras here are kind of nice. And they're, is that gilded or is that just like really nice, well polished bronze or brass here? But the candelabras are kind of nice. The goblets are nice, but they're made out of glass. The carafes, they're also made out of glass. You wouldn't want to take those.
Yeah.
But the silverware, it's iron, but it's like nice silverware in here. And there's a whole drawer of it. And there's some steak knives. And as you start going through some things, you start finding like there's a chest underneath the bed that you pull out, and it's full of like
Clothing.
Yeah,
Sex toys.
but like leather kink clothing.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
definitely someone's fuck room, and this is like used.
I'll
you
leave
know,
that. I'm gonna
assless
try and
chaps
hear.
and vests with little spikes on them.
I'm gonna grab the silverware. That's all I'm grabbing from this room. I want to make it so like I'm not tossing this room apart either. I want to come back here eventually. Would be my goal. So I grab the silverware, put it in my bag.
Come on, let's go to the next area. Let's go down.
I close the door.
Wow. While he's been, I look around for desks or something like that. Is there anything? Do I find anything, Neil, like incriminating?
I don't know what
Let's say
incriminating
this
would mean.
Like, let's say that this is a politician where he brings like rent boys and he doesn't want people to know that he's paying for sex with young boys. Like, is there anything like that might give away who this person is or what they get up to here? But a casual, like a journal in a desk or something like that.
No,
Or some papers.
There's no identifying information. There's no papers anywhere in here at all. No
Yeah,
writing
okay.
utensils even.
All right, we leave.
We go down.
All right, we're gonna go down to the basement,
Yeah.
into the tunnels.
Hmm.
Excellent.
Into the tunnels.
Hold on,
How's the
just
bread,
doing
by the way?
It's in the bag.
Okay.
It's for later. We could stay the night here and just listen.
Well, I need a bit
head-
of bread.
Yeah.
You
It's enough
head,
to sustain you.
Yeah.
you head down to the underground section. This staircase continues to spiral down. It has 2 doors on the 3rd floor, 2 doors on the 2nd floor, 2 doors on the 1st floor. But when you get down to the basement, there is a single door built into a stone wall that has a good lock on it, a class 10 lock. Now you've got 17. You can pick this in D10 rounds.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
10 minutes if you're taking
Unlucky.
your time.
I pick it. Check traps first. Natural 20 again. Wow.
Oh
my God.
my God, Mr. Moon.
Today's the day.
Today is absolutely the day. This door too is trapped. Yes.
Okay.
This is the 2nd trapped door that you've encountered in this building.
It's unusual.
I'll undo the trap and pick it.
All right. That will make it a D4 hours to pick door.
Let's hope I roll low.
Okay.
Wait, let's describe where we are. So we've gone down a set of stairs. Does the stairs go down further?
No. You're at the dead end here.
No, it's a dead end.
It is a complete dead end. If someone were to visit you on the stairs, if anyone entered that staircase, they would see the light from your hooded lantern. Maybe not exactly, but like if they don't have any light of their own, they would see a glow coming from the bottom of the staircase. And there's nowhere to run.
Who's going to
And there's-
enter with no light? Unless it's daytime.
Okay.
I
I'm
mean,
just saying
we're,
that
we're taking a big risk here.
this is being cornered. And if someone spots you, I'm going to roll dice. And if anyone comes by, you're cornered in a place where you have absolutely no
On the,
plausible excuse to ever be. And no
Before
amount
this-
of bullshitting will get you out of it.
Before this door, is there somewhere that I could hide that I could see the door? So that if someone was to go into the door to see him, I could be behind them.
No, the staircase
right.
comes down and it goes straight. And at the end of the straight, flat area is a doorway. There's 0 hiding space.
I got an idea. Let's go back to the old room, Nick. Let's chill there for the night and morning. We'll listen for the next change in the guard. We know that they're kind of like noisy. And let's see if we can go get this the next day.
Why do you think the next day it'll be safer?
Because we already know that there's some sort of time, at least an hour, where they're not walking around this place up and down the stairs, right?
Yeah.
Or we can do it now, or we can just not do it.
What if I go back up to the room and I listen at the door and see if I hear anyone going down the stairs, and then I can come out and try and get them?
Sure. you can try and get him.
That would mean leaving the lantern down with Pigeon so he can see. And so you would be hanging out in the dark, dusty room by yourself, listening at a door. Yeah?
Well, no, anyone else that I'm ambushing is going to have light on them.
Yeah, that's true. All right. We can do that.
All right. You leave the lantern behind with Pigeon. You go back to the dusty room on the ground floor.
Yeah, I understand more or less that it's going to take 1 to 4 hours. So I guess after an hour, I'll go check on him.
Mm-hmm. It's only going to take an hour. I'm an expert.
Pigeon starts working. You're waiting in this dusty room. You got no real concept of time passing. Maybe you count to yourself. Maybe you do paces. But it's a long, slow wait.
No, I don't pace because I need to stay at the door to listen.
Excellent. Give me your detect noise check.
Your very best.
This is over a course of a long time, though, Neil.
This is if there's an important moment to detect noise, this is for that moment. Yes.
I love it.
You get bonuses. You're okay.
I just love not rolling 21.
It's
well,
you get massive bonuses.
Pin drop silence is a +8.
+8.
And then every distance, if the target is 10 feet away, there's no penalty. If they're closer than that, you get bonuses. If they're further than 10 feet, it's a -2 penalty for each 5 feet away.
So you're good at 25 feet.
Door.
I'm at the door, though, so I'm closer than 25 feet. Well closer. I mean, they'd have to walk right past the door to go past me, I think.
Every inch of wooden door counts as 10 feet. So what we're doing here is that with this roll, we're determining at what range you will hear them. Because you get a 28, and then...
also depends on what armor they're wearing and what they're carrying. And the floor, because it's metal stairs, it's probably quite loud.
Mm-hmm. So with a 28, you would hear them when they get within 15 feet of the door. Is when you would begin to notice them. So it wouldn't be until someone's on that landing strip outside the door that you would hear them.
That's all right, because I want to wait for them to pass anyway.
I gotta run downstairs and open a door for like 2 seconds.
Hopefully it's not locked.
Right?
That's fine, because my plan would be to come out behind them, Neil, anyway, so...
Mm-hmm. Well, sure enough, you're waiting, and you're waiting, and you hear through the door some subtle noises, the sound of voices talking, not loudly, but just kind of, to themselves. And then you hear the sound of a doorknob turning, not your doorknob, and then the squeak of a door, and then the shutting of a door.
Okay, that's fine. Which door was it? Can I tell?
Well, it's the only one that's within 15 feet of you.
So somebody's gone into the apartment next to me with the guards' mess hall, basically.
They must have come down from up the stairs and went into that hall. Yeah.
Is that within the first hour?
Hard to tell time.
Somewhere, hard to tell time. Within, at least half an hour, no more than an hour and a half.
All right. I guess I'll wait for Pigeon to tell me when it's unlocked, because I can't tell the time.
Okay. Pigeon, you're working down in the basement. You're intent. You got your tools. You're like scraping at this and that, and you're doing your utmost not to break this lock or to set off this trap. You're taking your sweet time, and eventually you unlock the door. You've got the lantern. The door's unlocked, but you haven't opened it yet. My question for you, Pigeon: are you gonna open the door and look on through?
No, I'm gonna go grab Luther.
You're not even gonna you're not gonna open the door all the way.
No, I just, it's picked. Now I go grab Luther and we go in there together.
We go in.
All right. The two of you head down to the ground floor.
Good job
the basement
today.
Floor. You open the door.
All right.
It's a dirt floor, wooden walls, wooden rafters on the ceiling holding the ceiling together. You're in a tunnel. A tunnel
Nice.
that is maybe 5 feet wide. Wide enough for, 2 people to squeeze past each other. Wide enough that you could run a wheelbarrow down it in one direction. And it just fucking goes in both
Do I
directions.
Oh, in both directions. Do I feel like it would go? We're right by the city, the wall of the inner city, right?
You are near to the wall of the inner city. You're not right next to it. Give me an intelligence check, Luther.
I'm trying to work out whether this is going to cross to the inner city or not. 27.
Okay.
This hallway runs north-south. It definitely runs north-south.
Sick.
So it does.
It could go to the inner city, or it could, turn off or head in a different direction or something like that.
Okay.
But now you're underground, and if you start moving in this hallway, you're not going to know where you are above you. You're not a dwarf. You're not underground proficient in anything. You could easily get lost in these tunnels down here. If there are multiple turns, if there's multiple crossing things, and if you leave a trail, it'll lead anybody else who's in these tunnels right back to where you were, because anyone who's in this tunnel isn't going to be leaving a trail. Anyone who has access to this tunnel, is going to notice something out of place.
Yeah. But surely anyone who walks down here would leave a trail.
Sure. I mean, it's a dirt floor.
Yeah.
It's a dirt floor. Mm-hmm.
But
But I'm saying, if
that-
you're trying to mark your place, if you're leaving a ball of yarn, or if you're
I see
making
what-
markings on the wall
Yeah.
to let you know where you're turning, then someone else will pick up on those pretty fast.
Yes.
And right now you're underground.
Well, come on,
These
let's
could go
fucking
anywhere.
go.
Yeah.
you
You're not
going?
worried about getting lost?
No.
All right. Let's go then.
Where are you
Let's
I
going?
say we
tunnel.
head south.
Yeah, we head south.
It's late, right? You went here at night. It's April, so it's springtime. There's about 12 hours of daylight, 12 hours of night. We spent a couple hours picking each lock and a little bit of time in between. So we probably spent 4 or 5 hours in here, and you came in
adrenaline.
here after nighttime already. So we're probably at least halfway through the night, if not more.
Yeah.
And we're heading south in a tunnel that we don't know about.
That's all right.
That's right.
That easy.
You come to an intersection after, I don't know, 100, 200 feet of walking, something like that. And this intersection is marked with with symbols that aren't in a language you understand. It doesn't look like Dwarven. It doesn't look like Nomish. It looks just like someone has placed an upside down triangle on, 2 walls and a pair of double lines on 2 other walls. And you don't know what these mean, but it is a 4-way intersection.
Which way do you want to go?
Well, we're gonna get lost, aren't we? Unless we don't turn. We only go south.
Well, what if we just always turn right, so you always turn left back?
Wait. But that only works if you end up turning 3 times right, and if it's always at 90-degree angles.
Well, let's go check that. We can turn 3 times before we get lost, right?
I'm not sure that's a good idea. I think we should stick to going south if we're going to keep going.
All right, we keep going south.
I take a note of those symbols, Neil, so that if I find this crossroads
I just
again.
assume. Hold on, before we do that, I just assume if we continue going south, it's always going to have corridors leading off, but there's never going to be here is the door with the treasure, I'm guessing that this is the big tunnel, and then there's corridors leading out to the small layers. That's a guess.
Potentially.
All right, let's keep going south. At least this will tell us that.
All right.
We're going to find the queen.
Yeah. This is a little bit hapless.
Yeah.
We don't have a goal here. It's cool that we found it.
We're going to run into something, and that's what's
Well-
important.
After a couple hundred more feet, you just run into a door. A wooden framed door with a door with metal bindings across it
Beautiful.
and a lock on it. And
check
there
for
is
traps.
also a grate, a little metal grate that sits about at eye level with a recessed piece of wood. It looks like the sort of thing that someone might slide open and then slide closed again. But there's like metal grating across it, so that way if something's really small, like you couldn't stab someone through the grate at all.
I don't think we want to do this door, right?
There's probably somebody in there. We could knock on it.
What are we gonna
But,
say? You know,
I don't know.
how
We found
fine
you.
does the
Can we
lock
come in?
look?
You can sit down and use that big old lantern to direct light upon the lock. You can see that this is it's a good lock. You know, this is not the first good lock. You've seen 3 good locks and a couple of common locks in here. Good locks are worth 100 GP each, so it's not outrageously expensive, but someone has put time and money into this thing.
Let's keep going.
You wanna go
Which
I
way?
think that let's
Back
keep
up
going
to the
south.
crossroads?
No, this is it.
No, this is dead end.
Oh,
dead
it's a
end.
dead end.
There's a single
Oh.
4-way intersection and a dead end.
Then I'll pick it. I'll check locks, check traps first. 26.
Wait,
Untrapped.
can we eavesdrop at the door first?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, finally.
There are voices beyond this door,
Ooh,
unlike
what
the
are they
other
saying?
ones. A 30 is pretty fucking good. I need to
It's as
check
good as you can get.
Yeah, that's as
the
good as you can get.
eavesdrop
Pin drop
here.
silence. 38.
Solid wooden door. It's 2 inches thick, so that'll add. You rolled a 30. You have a 38. Whoops, no. 34 minus 21. 34 minus 21. So, oh, wow. Okay, with that roll, you can actually hear the conversation happening in
Amazing.
the next door room. That's great. The people in the room beyond, one of them is giving a status report to the other. Status report is, aside from the earlier mentioned intruders, been a quiet night. All the clients are safe and secure. No cause for alarm. And then the other person says, well, good job, Taylor. Everything's going as it should be. Why don't you take a load off? The others should be here, within the hour. We'll do the big group meeting. And, sunrise will be up. You can go home. And then you can hear the sound of boots, like resting on a table. And then small talk picks up. Appears that the person who's doing the reporting is starting to make some commentary about the attractiveness of one of their clients that they're guarding. And the authoritative voice beyond the door shuts it down super fast and is like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm going to paraphrase here, but the tone is, these are our clients. If you engage in any of that sort of conduct or conversation, you're going to be a liability to our organization, and you know exactly what happens to people who are liabilities. And then you can hear like the tone in the room shift. The person says, "Oh, sorry, I was just making conversation. I didn't mean anything by it. Of course not. Work first. I would never shit where I eat." And then it gets a little bit quiet.
Does it strike me as strange that a security company would execute someone for breaking the rules? Or is that maybe what I would expect?
Execution does seem
kill.
pretty...
Yeah, it seems
kill, execute. That seems pretty strong. Maybe that's not what they mean. Maybe they just mean fired, or maybe they mean like we'll take a finger, or maybe their clients are really wealthy. Maybe this is like a operation that brings in a lot of money, or maybe this is a criminal organization.
Yeah, well, I reckon they're maybe criminals, the gods, which wouldn't be that's surprising that some of the gangs are in protection like that. But I'm now thinking that given that this dead end is to do with the building security, then this whole area is probably self-contained.
Yep.
Meaning that
we
these
can
are
go on
probably
the
the
offshoots.
basements. Yeah.
But we need to be quick about it. We can't go through here, so let's jump to the next.
So I think we go back to the crossroads, Neil.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll take a direction.
You want to
Go
go
left.
left or right?
I'm
Nick?
drawing a... we'll go our current left, which is right from the entrance.
Okay.
So this is where we came in. Can I do this, Neil? Can I...
Oh yeah, please. I'm making a map, or I have a map, I should say. You make a map, and
We'll see
if
about the
everything
maps.
goes well, they'll match up.
How many crossroads were there before the dead end?
Pigeon, do you remember?
I think he only said one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay, so the red is the dead end. The green is the exit. This is the crossroads here.
All right. Let's go. So we're coming back from the dead end. So let's go
Right.
our left.
Yeah, so we're going this direction.
I didn't see, but this way.
This way, right?
Sorry, I don't see what you're doing. Your ruler's hidden.
Top left of the map.
Oh, I see it now. Okay. Yep. All right, we'll go that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go a few hundred feet, and you hit a three-way intersection. The road goes straight, and the road goes right.
Two seconds. Got to talk to
What?
Fran.
No, I want to get back on.
We'll
Sorry.
be wrapping up soon. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes which way?
it goes straight, and it goes right.
What do you want to take?
Straight, I guess.
All right, we go straight.
All right, I need. Who wants to make an important die roll?
Me. Nick just rolled a 20.
All right, Mr. Mooton, I want you to roll me a d10.
Do I want high or low?
You want high.
An 8. It's pretty good.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah. You look left, or you look to the right, you look straight. You said you were going straight, was it?
We said we
Yeah.
were going straight.
Yeah. As you swing your lantern back to go in the straight direction, you can see down the right side, the corner of your eye, there's some light. And then the light quickly fades. But there's activity down that right side. There's someone with a light down that right side. And who knows if they've seen your light too? Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But you saw a light down that
Yeah.
hallway.
We won the
you wanna
surprise roll, so that means that we've probably seen them before they've seen us.
Probably.
Yes, metagame. It always works
Like-
in your favor.
I'm only I'm only joking because I don't think we can fully rely on that reasoning. I think we should go straight.
All right, we'll go straight. We hurry along straight.
I think we should, if we find a door, we should try and go into it.
I agree.
You do find a door that
All right,
this
I
dead ends in a
Ask for him to
door.
eavesdrop.
Yeah, okay. Hang on, I'm just making our map. It dead ends in a door here.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. I eavesdrop it. 23.
You don't hear anything with the 23.
I find and remove traps. 28.
You do find a trap.
I pick it.
Fuck.
It'll be another D4 hours.
It's not ideal, is it?
It's not ideal.
And there's other people in these tunnels.
There
and you've got
are.
a light. And you need the light to lockpick.
Do you though?
You do.
I
can't
don't think
see
you
ins-
do.
you can't
You're not
see
really
inside
seeing
the lock.
inside of the lock. It's more of a feeling. You're feeling like the inside and whatnot.
From what I have been looking and reading, light is useful and needed to do these things. At the very least, you need to be able to pick your tools out of your toolkit and find the right ones.
But we've got a lantern though, so we could ration our light to when it's needed.
Are we able to do
Sparking
that,
the
Neil?
lantern. If you blow out, it's a hooded lantern, so
It's a hooded lantern.
You can
Yeah.
drop it and kill the light from it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then
so like
lift
if he
it.
needs to get a tool, I can open it, or if he needs to look at it in the light, I can open it. But I think
Yeah.
most of the time we can keep it closed.
Yes.
All right, perfect. We'll do it. The hooded lantern gets better and better, Nick.
Yes. Most OP item. And if anyone comes from us in the tunnel, we've already got our
Minus
hooded
2 to
lantern defense.
AC. Yeah.
Oh, fuck 'em up.
Huge.
Unless it's hooded lantern on hooded lantern.
That's
Oh,
true.
shit.
Then we're just fighting. Yep, I'll pick it.
All right. You go around picking lantern. Within, minutes of you beginning to pick this thing, you have the lantern open.
Yep.
You pick out your tools. You take a look at what you've got here. You kind of do your best to look inside. You close the lantern. You start gently testing things on the inside. And that's when the light gets dark, you see that there's light coming from behind you. Looking back, there's a torch hundreds and hundreds of feet away, but it's a straight shot, so it's real easy to see the torch.
So they can see us?
No, but
Well,
is
it's
it coming?
hundreds and hundreds of feet away,
Yeah.
so a torchlight probably wouldn't touch you, but you can see that there's like a little speck of light way down the tunnel. And if it was going, perpendicular to you, it would appear and disappear. But this isn't appearing and disappearing. This is staying. So either they're still, or they're headed towards you, or they're headed away from you.
I think they're headed away, Nick. Because
Yeah, I think so.
they were down
Yeah.
the passage.
Yeah,
So,
they 10.
oh,
They
wait.
10. Yeah, we wait. I ready my short sword though.
I ready my... Well, I can't lasso. Never mind.
Well, you'd have to stop all your picking if you wanted to ready anything.
No, I'm
Yeah,
continuing.
Yeah, you carry on. I'm.
All right. A little bit of time passes.
It should be It should be clear quite soon whether they're coming towards us or not.
Yeah, they're coming
They're going
towards
away,
you.
Nick.
A little bit of time passes, and that light gets a little bigger and a little bigger.
Do we feel like that they could be turning down the right path still?
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. We wait
Okay.
now.
Wait it out.
If you wait for them to get to that intersection, though, and they don't go down that right path, you're cornered with nowhere to go.
We're fighting at that point, yeah. But if
You
they're
wanna
not
fight
past
down
that
here in these-
but if they're
in
not
this
past
area?
that intersection right now, they'll see us when we go to the intersection.
Yeah.
Well, this is it. This is the high stakes game of breaking into protected areas.
right.
The question is, are you willing to risk your life for this? Because what if you get cornered? What if it's a good
Let's-
fighter?
Let's risk it, Nick.
Wait, number one, we can't escape anyway, so
Yes,
the
okay.
question's moot, Neil. But we could have one of us on each side. That way, someone can counter. Like, someone can get behind them either way.
I don't know what you mean.
I'm talking to Moot. I'm saying that one of us could run up to the intersection and head left. And that way, whether the guy goes right, the person who's still at the door we're picking could come up behind him. Or if he goes straight, the person who'd gone down the intersection could come back around the corner and get behind him.
All right, I put my lockpick tools down and I run with
You're
my
gonna
lasso.
run to that intersection.
I'm gonna
It's
run to the
dark.
intersection. That's right.
All right, so that
I'm gonna
means
feel on the wall.
you run forward, feeling on the wall. As long as you're running towards the light,
Yes.
you're running in a straight line and you're not going to hit anything. You get to the intersection, you hook a left, you go down the path. Luther, what are you doing during this time?
Yeah, I'm waiting where I am with my short sword to see which way the light comes. Either I'm going to be the one back attacking or I'm going to be the one like holding
Yeah.
the front.
Yeah, well, Pigeon, how far down that left path do you go?
I'm not
10
planning
feet,
on
30 feet,
going
100 feet,
super 40 feet.
40 feet?
Can I throw my lasso down here? How big is the corridors?
When you shined the light down here earlier, it looked like it was hundreds of feet long.
No. I mean, like, can I physically,
Oh,
like,
no, there's
lasso?
not enough
Just
room
making
in
sure.
here.
Okay.
No way to
But I could
lasso.
still get someone with a lasso around their neck and, like, try to hold them in
No, because
grappling.
you can't spin the lasso. The corridors are too thin. To,
No, but you can still choke them. Like
No, but I can
garrote
still
them.
choke someone
Oh.
grotto with it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you could place it over their neck, you could.
Perfect.
You could
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll go, I don't know. What's lantern? What's torchlight? 20 feet? I'll go
20, 30 feet? Mhm.
I'll go 40 feet.
All right.
40 feet.
40 feet. You go down,
I'll hide.
and soon enough, you can see that whoever this is is come to the intersection, and you can see this. Pigeon. You can see this really well. Luther, you're further away, so it's a little bit harder. But since Pigeon's only 40 feet, you can see that someone is looking at tracks on the ground, and they come to that intersection, and they pause, and they kneel down, and they look, and then they kind of glance your way, and they glance straight ahead. And you can see when they're holding the torch, it's never in front of them. It's always like slightly behind their head. And then they take the path towards Luther. But before they do, they switch the torch to their other hand. Probably not behind their
sword.
head. And they will draw a short sword.
Okay.
And then they will proceed down that area. And Luther, you can see once it gets a little bit closer that there's someone coming towards you with a torch behind their head, so it's not blinding them, and a short sword out.
All right, I'm going to, as he goes past, I'm going to start going slowly towards him. And my goal is...
slowly, he will outpace you.
What I mean by slowly is I just want to make sure that I'm not like running towards him when he's like 10 feet towards Luther, Like he's just walked 10 feet.
Well, he's doing what we call like a combat advance. He's moving at 120 feet per round. So if you want to sneak up on him, you have to go more slowly than that. If you want to catch up to him, you've got to go more quickly than that.
Perfect. Then I'll catch up to him, and my goal is to tightrope his neck. Or not tightrope, lasso his neck with just, garrote from behind.
Okay. All right, so that would work by making an attack roll.
Yep.
And if you succeed, I have to open the lasso rules. It might get around his neck. If it does get around his neck, you can begin to choke him.
Yeah.
You don't want to stab him?
No, I don't want him to scream. I'll let Luther stab him.
Okay.
Just need to look up the lasso rules.
I don't know if the lasso rules count for this. I think this would probably be more of just like grappling rules. The lasso rules, you kind of need to do the lasso. Around the legs equal, here's what my notes. Around the legs equal pull or trip ability, make him fall, pin him equal AC 10.
Around the neck is good because you might be able to stop him
That's what I
audibly
wanted.
screaming. Yeah.
I wanted around the neck, AC 10-ish.
Wait, it says around the neck is AC 10?
No, it just says pin him equal AC 10.
It doesn't say anything about around the neck.
No. But that was like the goal with around the neck. We were doing last time, I think we were doing con checks. If you get the pin in, for them to not just die from their breath, not having it.
Oh, in a bit. Okay. I need you, MrMouton.
Yep.
It's going to come down, whether or not you're going to be able to get a surprise on this person, it's going to come down to a move silently roll. So I need to ask you some questions before you roll any dice.
All right.
The ground beneath you is dirt, so there's no penalty there. It is quiet. It's not pin drop silence since someone's moving, but it is quiet or still, so you have a penalty of 2 to your move silently.
Okay.
Are you're wearing regular shoes?
Wearing regular shoes.
Okay,
Yep.
no penalty. Do you have
Actually,
any
I think
armor
I'm wearing
on?
sandals.
Sandals. Okay, no, that's
I think so.
perfect. Yep.
No armor.
You have no armor. You have your backpack though, right? Because you've got your toolkit. And
I have my
someone brought-
backpack.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
it's a penalty of 1.
Base
You're not encumbered
encumbrance.
though.
Nope.
Okay, so you've got a penalty of 3 for your gear and the stillness in the area and the ground you're on. So make me a move silently check, and it'll be opposed by his perception check.
14.
Ugh.
That is terrible.
It's all right.
Ooh, but he rolled a 4. So does he have 10 perception?
Oh, yes.
He does.
He does. That's bad.
But he also rolls a 15. So
Does he have any penalties though to his perception?
He's surprised.
He's definitely not surprised. He's following tracks on the ground. If anything, he's on watch. Anyone who succeeds with a roll greater than the thief's notices something. So you both fail. You fail to move
silent, but he doesn't notice
silently,
anything.
and he doesn't notice anything because he's so focused on what's in front of him. So
Right.
you will approach him from behind, and I think we're just going to do... I think at this point it just comes down to him passing or failing or passing a surprise check. And Luther, you see him coming, and then as you see him coming towards you, when he's still, when you're still out of light range, you see Pigeon coming up behind him with a rope over his head.
Yeah, so as soon as I see Pigeon, I'll like open the lights on the lantern and start moving towards him.
Okay. With the lantern opening in front of him, that 4 is going to be a failure on his surprise as he is distracted by the lantern. Pigeon, you come up behind him, +4 to hit. Make me an attack roll, and just don't roll poorly. Roll me another 20.
Okay,
Pigeon.
That's
that
fine.
works.
With +4, that's a 13.
Yeah.
The lasso, because you just you're not tossing it, you're just
Nope,
placing
putting
it
it
over
on
his
around
head
his
at this
neck.
point.
And pulling it taut and taking him to the
Give
ground.
me a strength check, Pigeon. Do this. Do it good.
25.
Yes!
Yeah.
You grab him by the neck. You yoink him to the ground.
I put my hand over his mouth.
You race towards them, right? You've got the lantern in one hand. You run towards him. Shove your hand over his mouth. He's got a torch, which he's going to,
Beat you with.
I would like to
shove into
stand
your
on,
face.
try and stand on his hand.
You're probably
Cover
wanting
his
to
mouth
stand
or
on the
stand on
sword
his
hand.
Well, I'd like to. I'm trying to do both. Like, get
Okay,
a
he's
foot
got a
on the
sword,
hand.
a torch, and a mouth. You only have 2 hands.
Oh, he's got a sword as well.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just take the torch damage. Or kill him.
What do you do, Luther?
No, I just try and cover his mouth, and I try and cover his mouth with my left hand, and with my right hand, I try and grab any attacking sword.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're grappling at him. He's got a torch and a sword, so he's going to... I'm going to give him some penalties here. He will thrust in your direction, Luther, as you go to grapple at him. He will hit you for 5 points of damage.
Can you use a
And-
short sword in this position?
Yeah, it's just a simple thrusting weapon.
It's fine. He's expending force, which is ruining his con, which is going to make him die
Yes.
quicker.
Yes. So you go to grab him. You put your hand towards him. He stabs you as you do so through the side. He tries to scream. Make me an attack roll against AC 8. Because he's kind of grappled by Pigeon. Yeah. You put your hand right over his mouth.
Oh, wait.
I don't know what
Sorry,
there's
there's
a
a
+6
minus
on there
minus
for.
4. It's an 11.
Okay, yeah. There we
Fine.
go. Makes sense. You cover his mouth with your hand. You can see the eyes flare wide as he's being strangled and muffled. He's got his weapons. He's going to make himself a con check. I think he can survive 1 round for certain, and then every round thereafter he's got to make checks. So let's do it at the start of his round. 1d20 plus, we'll roll his con, 3d6. He passes his first con check. His con
Ooh,
is
but his
9.
con is bad, though, yeah.
Yeah, and he'll get to make another attack at you. This
I
time
make a
there's
full
no,
defensive action if I can.
that means letting go of him.
He shouldn't be able to scream at this point. Absolutely not.
Okay, yeah. You've got the hooks in. I just try and not get stabbed. This 4
All right.
damage is serious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Well, he only gets the +4 when you're first approaching him. If you're grappling with him, he doesn't get the +4 every round after. It'll just be a flat d6. When someone makes an unarmed attack against you when you have a weapon, you get +4 to hit and damage because they are closing. They're like putting themselves in a really open position. But now that you're like next to him, it's a lot more of a struggle, a lot more of a back and forth.
Okay, wait. I just keep the grapple in.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Then he will just make a regular. Look at he would normally get a 2 to hit in this situation, but I'm gonna say the choking gives him penalty of 2. It's just a flat d20.
Miss.
He tries. He tries so hard. And then the firebrand in his offhand, which is actually at a -2 for him, is a 17. He will succeed in like thrusting the fire towards you, and you can bat it away with your free hand, but it will do 3 points of damage and begin to singe your clothes. And he is dying -2 And I think that's it for him. 2 rounds of being
Right,
choked,
almighty.
and the man dies. But you've
Did
taken
some damage though.
He did.
8 damage in the process.
I close his lantern and
It's just a
Or-
torch. Yeah, you can just kick it
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Take his body. I'm gonna go pick again.
And I run down to go pick.
You
I
want to
drag
go
the
pick?
body to the room.
We have to, yeah.
What if someone comes looking for him?
We'll get another guy. He was the guy. He's the guy on the tunnels. Nick, do you want to go back?
I mean, if
You know
we're
what?
interested in
We're at a
self-preservation,
break. This is
Yeah.
our spot. We're going to
Yeah,
think
okay.
about it when we come
Yeah.
back, because we have to end for the day here. When we come back next time, we'll figure out if we continue or if we back off.
It's a good
Because
break
Luther's already at half HP, and this is a dead end, and there's no escape routes. On the other hand, are you ever going to be able to get down in here again?
That's
This might be
what-
your
yeah.
only chance, and who knows what's beyond this trapped door.
yeah.
We'll find out next time on Hardly Heroes.
All right.